Beneath the glittering lights of Hollywood, countless stars have sought the surgeon's touch, hoping to freeze time, perfect their features, or chase an image of beauty the world demanded of them. But under the scalpel, dreams don't always come true. Some transformations have left even the most loyal fans stunned, staring at faces almost unrecognizable from the ones they once adored. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on the most shocking plastic surgery disasters in Tinseltown, the kind of changes you can't believe until you see them. If you crave the untold stories behind the red carpet smiles and glossy magazine covers, make sure to subscribe so you'll never miss a single jaw-dropping reveal. And if you find yourself shocked, moved, or even fascinated, show your support, leave a like, share this video with friends, and get ready for more unbelievable Hollywood stories coming your way. See you in the next one. Aubrey O'Day has recently set social media ablaze after fans began placing her glamorous Instagram posts side by side with a set of unfiltered paparazzi shots. And the contrast is jaw-dropping. The candid photos, snapped as she casually strolled through Palm Springs walking her dog, marked her first public sighting since October 20, 2019. In these unposed moments, she appeared almost unrecognizable compared to the flawless, sculpted image she projects online. On Instagram, Aubrey's figure is sleek and perfectly contoured, her skin seemingly airbrushed to a poreless glow, like something straight out of a photo editing app. But in the raw daylight of the paparazzi lens, the story looked different. Without strategic lighting, angles, or filters, her appearance revealed textures, shapes, and details that fans had never seen before. The stark side-by-side left many questioning just how much of her online persona was reality and how much was digital fantasy. Aubrey didn't take the speculation lying down. She hit back, accusing the paparazzi of manipulating the images to make her look worse. In one pointed remark, she brushed off the controversy, calling herself just a random girl in Palm Springs and dismissing the shots as misleading. But just days later, the narrative shifted again. Aubrey was spotted lounging poolside at a hotel, looking almost identical to her paparazzi-captured self, right down to the same body proportions and facial details. Guests even reported overhearing her mention her own name, leaving little doubt it was her. The confirmation reignited the debate, this time with even more intensity. To be clear, this isn't about shaming someone for how they look. People change. Bodies change. No one owes the world a certain image. The real conversation here is about authenticity, about the heavy editing of social media photos and the blurred line between truth and illusion. In an era where filters can rewrite reality in seconds, Aubrey's story is a stark reminder: not everything we double-tap is the truth. Paul Stanley, the electrifying frontman and rhythm guitarist of Kiss, once ruled the stage with glam rock swagger, painted face, and a voice that could ignite an arena. But today, the man behind the Starchild mask looks different from the wild glory days of the 70s and 80s, sparking decades of whispers about possible cosmetic work. Fans and critics alike have speculated: rhinoplasty, facelift, brow lift, lip enhancement, Botox, fillers. The rumor list is long. Photos showing a smoother complexion and subtly altered features have only fanned the flames. Stanley, however, has never played into the gossip. The only surgery he has openly discussed wasn't about vanity at all, it was deeply personal. Born with a congenital condition called microtia, he was missing his right ear at birth. Later, reconstructive surgery gave him what nature hadn't, an experience he's spoken about with honesty and pride, emphasizing it was about restoring, not reinventing. On SiriusXM's Jim and Sam show, Stanley went even further, revealing a history of medical procedures: wrist surgery, a hip replacement, cartilage repair in his knee, all battle scars from decades of high-octane performances. These weren't about altering his face, they were about keeping his body moving under the punishing demands of rock and roll. When pressed about his changing looks, Stanley brushed it off with rockstar cool, reminding listeners that no one outruns time. His face, he suggested, tells the story of a life lived under hot stage lights, with all the wear, tear, and triumph that comes with it. In the end, whether he's in Kiss's iconic makeup or barefaced as Paul Stanley, he remains unapologetically himself, a man who built a career on authenticity, not perfection. And that, perhaps, is the most rock and roll thing of all. Ronnie Ortiz Magro, the charismatic tough guy from MTV's Smash Hit Jersey Shore, became a household name not just for his fiery personality, but for the chiseled six-pack abs that seemed carved out of stone. In the late 2000s and early 2010s, his ripped physique became as much a part of his identity as the GTL lifestyle itself. But as the years rolled on, life began to change. By 2019, Ronnie was no longer just a reality TV star, he was a father. Welcoming his daughter Ariana brought a new kind of joy, but also a new reality. Sleepless nights, endless responsibilities, and far less time for the marathon gym sessions that had once been second nature. Slowly, the mirror reflected a different version of himself. Rather than watch his signature abs fade into memory, Ronnie chose another path. On the TV show The Doctors, he openly revealed that he had undergone high-definition laser liposuction, an advanced procedure that targets stubborn pockets of fat and sculpts the body for a sharper, more defined look. For Ronnie, it wasn't just about vanity, it was about reclaiming the confidence and energy he felt during his Jersey Shore days. His honesty stood out in a celebrity world where most people keep cosmetic procedures under wraps. By speaking up, Ronnie sparked conversations about the pressures men face, especially those in the spotlight, to maintain a certain image. In pulling back the curtain, he didn't just share his own transformation. He shed light on the constant balancing act between personal health, public expectation, and the demanding role of parenthood. Lissa Lima, one of the most talked-about stars from TLC's hit reality show 90 Day Fiancé, sent shockwaves through the fanbase on September 26, 2020, when she revealed a jaw-dropping new look. Reports claimed she'd spent nearly $72,000 on an array of cosmetic procedures, transforming herself into what she proudly called a new woman. Her makeover was no small touch-up. Lissa went all in: rhinoplasty, liposuction, breast augmentation, a Brazilian butt lift, plus Botox and enhancements to her lips, cheeks, and chin. She shed pounds, reshaped her curves, and refined her features into a glamorous, Hollywood-inspired image. On 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, she openly listed every change she made, declaring with a confident smile, "I lost weight. I did my butt, made it bigger. I got Botox. I had my nose done. I did my lips, my cheeks, my chin. I am a new woman, and I feel very happy." That level of honesty is rare in reality TV, where many stars quietly alter their looks but refuse to admit it. Lissa's unapologetic transparency not only showed her confidence but also fed into the public's fascination with her life. For longtime viewers, the transformation was striking. Before surgery, she had a softer, more natural beauty. Afterward, her features were sharper, her body more sculpted, and her style exuded high-glam celebrity energy. The change was so dramatic, some fans barely recognized her. Her bold new image became a lightning rod in the 90 Day Fiancé community, igniting debates over beauty standards, self-image, and the booming accessibility of cosmetic enhancements. Some praised her for taking control of her appearance, while others wondered if she had gone too far. Lissa didn't care about the critics. She stood by her decision, framing it as a personal investment in confidence and self-satisfaction. In a world where every move of a reality star is scrutinized, Lissa Lima embraced her transformation, making herself one of the most unforgettable figures in 90 Day Fiancé history. Dolores Catania, one of the most unforgettable personalities on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, has never been one to sugarcoat the truth, especially when it comes to her cosmetic procedures. From the moment she stepped into the public eye, Dolores has been refreshingly transparent about her transformation, openly sharing her experiences with a tummy tuck, breast augmentation, facelift, liposuction, and even a Brazilian butt lift. Over time, these changes have dramatically reshaped her look, turning heads both on and off screen. Her honesty has earned her admiration from fans who appreciate her candor, but it's also stirred up some personal drama, especially in her love life. Dolores revealed that her then-boyfriend struggled to accept the extent of her enhancements. Speaking on the podcast Getting Real with the Housewives, she recalled his intense reaction. "He was really angry. He was very mad at me and he wouldn't let it go. While she empathized with his feelings, Dolores stood firm in her belief that the decision was hers alone. After giving him time to process, she drew a line in the sand. Look, either you live with it, or we keep moving on. For Dolores, these surgeries weren't about meeting anyone else's expectations. They were about reclaiming her confidence and feeling her absolute best. But her story also sheds light on a less talked about side of cosmetic enhancement, the ripple effect it can have on relationships, sparking emotional tension and testing personal boundaries. Viewers have seen Dolores balance her tough, outspoken Jersey girl persona with moments of vulnerability, and her willingness to discuss both the rewards and challenges of cosmetic work has only deepened her connection with fans. In a reality TV world where many stars quietly downplay or outright deny such changes, Dolores Catania stands apart. She's proof that beauty choices are deeply personal, but they can also bring consequences that extend far beyond the mirror. Julie Chen Moonves, the poised and polished face of CBS's hit reality series Big Brother and former co-host of The Talk, stunned viewers in 2013 when she laid bare one of the most personal and defining moments of her early career. On national television, Julie revealed that she had undergone eye surgery, not for medical reasons, but to make her eyes appear larger after enduring blunt, painful pressure from industry insiders. In her early days as a young journalist, agents and news executives didn't mince words. They told her, point blank, that her Asian eyes wouldn't translate well on television, that her look could hold her back, limit her opportunities, and close doors before she could even step through them. Those words cut deep. Yet, instead of crumbling, Julie made a decision that would alter the course of her career. She went under the knife. Speaking with unflinching honesty, she acknowledged the emotional weight of that choice. "Nobody is more proud of being Chinese than I am," she said firmly. "Every decision I've made has brought me to where I am today, and I will not look back." While she admitted the surgery was born from a biased industry, she stood by it, seeing it as a turning point that opened the doors she'd been told would remain shut. Her revelation ignited a nationwide conversation about representation, beauty standards, and the unspoken pressures faced by Asian Americans in the entertainment world. Many praised her courage for addressing something so private, especially in a business where cosmetic procedures are often whispered about but rarely confessed. Others questioned whether she should have resisted the pressure. Julie's answer was simple: the decision was hers alone, and she owned it completely. Over the decades, Julie Chen Moonves has built a legacy of professionalism, elegance, and resilience. Hosting Big Brother for over 20 years, she has become a trusted and familiar presence in American homes. Her willingness to speak openly about her surgery, and the prejudice that fueled it, shows a woman both proud of her heritage and unafraid to confront the uncomfortable truths of an industry that hasn't always embraced diversity. Her story isn't just about cosmetic change, it's about navigating a world where appearance can dictate opportunity and still finding the strength to define your own path. Lisa Rinna, the unapologetically bold star of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and a familiar face from Days of Our Lives and Melrose Place, has always been known for her trademark pout, thanks to her signature lip fillers. But even someone as confident and self-assured as Lisa will admit that not every beauty experiment has been a triumph. One of her biggest missteps? Botox. And not just anywhere, but in her cheeks. At the time, it seemed harmless. Everyone in her circle was doing it, and she figured it might give her that extra fresh, camera-ready glow. Instead, the result was the opposite of what she imagined. The first time she saw a photo afterward, her stomach dropped. "Oh my God, that's not good. That's really not good," she recalled, cringing at the memory. What she'd hoped would be a subtle lift left her looking, in her own words, completely overdone. For someone so comfortable in the public eye, the shock was sobering. It was a wake-up call that when it comes to cosmetic work, restraint is everything. Since then, Lisa has embraced a different philosophy, one centered on preserving her natural features rather than chasing every trend. She still uses Botox, but with a far lighter touch, steering clear of anything that could distort the face she's worked hard to make iconic. Her candor about this misstep has struck a chord with fans, especially those walking the fine line between embracing aging and exploring modern beauty treatments. Today, Whether she's turning heads on a Real Housewives red carpet or starring in national commercials, Lisa Rinna's look tells a story. She knows exactly what works for her and exactly what doesn't. Aaron Carter wasn't just Nick Carter's little brother. He was the bright-eyed, platinum-haired prodigy who burst onto the late 90s and early 2000s pop scene with infectious hits like I Want Candy and Aaron's Party, Come Get It. With his boyish grin, catchy tunes, and teen magazine cover charm, he became every tween's crush and a fixture of pop culture. But fame has a way of turning from blessing to burden. Like so many child stars, Aaron's leap into adulthood came with turbulence. Behind the smiles and sold-out shows were battles with substance abuse, fractured family bonds, and legal troubles that kept his name in headlines for all the wrong reasons. The once squeaky clean teen idol gradually transformed before the public's eyes. Face tattoos, piercings, a sharper jawline replacing the soft innocence fans remembered. And yet, one thing never changed: his signature platinum blonde hair, a defiant thread connecting the man he had become to the boy who had once owned the stage. For longtime fans, it was a bittersweet reminder of the performer they first adored. For Aaron, it was something deeper, a personal anchor to a time when life felt lighter, dreams seemed endless, and the music drowned out the noise. He spoke openly about his battles, unafraid to share the scars, both visible and hidden. His look, he said, told the story of his life. The pain, the lessons, the resilience, and his refusal to be defined by the teen idol label. In the end, Aaron Carter's journey was one of transformation, celebrated by some, mourned by others, but undeniably human. It's the story of a boy who sang to screaming crowds, a man who fought for redemption, and a legacy that reminds us how growing up in the spotlight can shape not only a career, but an entire life. Shia LaBeouf has built his career on the art of reinvention. So much so that even his most loyal fans sometimes have to look twice to recognize him. Many first met him as the mischievous, quick-witted Louis Stevens on Disney Channel's Even Stevens, a role that cemented his place in early 2000s pop culture. Back then, his look radiated boyish charm, short hair, a clean-shaven face, and that trademark sly grin. But as he transitioned from child star to critically acclaimed actor, Shia shed that wholesome Disney image both on and off screen. Over the years, his appearance has been a constantly shifting canvas: wild, untamed beards, shaved heads, slicked back hair, and everything in between. Sometimes these changes mirrored the characters he played. Other times, they felt like personal declarations of artistic evolution. His fashion choices have been just as unpredictable. One day he's in bright pink leggings and UGG boots, another he's in eclectic vintage layers, and once, he strolled onto a red carpet wearing nothing but a suit and a paper bag over his head scrawled with the words, "I am not famous anymore." The stunt sent shockwaves through Hollywood, sparking debates about performance art, celebrity culture, and identity itself. For Shia, these transformations aren't the careful tweaks of a star trying to stay relevant. They're fearless, unapologetic statements. Love them or hate them, they blur the line between his personal life and public persona. And beneath every drastic haircut, eccentric outfit, or headline-grabbing stunt, there's a constant, an actor unafraid to challenge norms, confront expectations, and reinvent himself entirely on his own terms. In an industry obsessed with control and image, Shia LaBeouf's raw, chaotic authenticity is a rarity, and that's exactly what keeps the world watching, wondering what he'll do next. David Letterman, the once impeccably groomed, clean-shaven king of late-night television, spent over 3 decades welcoming America with sharp suits, a crisp tie, and that unmistakable mischievous grin. Every night, millions tuned into The Late Show for his razor-sharp wit, sly humor, and perfectly polished TV persona. But when he walked away from the desk in 2015, Letterman stunned fans with a transformation so bold, it left some doing a double take. Gone was the smooth-shaven face and sleek TV-ready style. In its place, a thick, snow-white beard, long, wild, and worlds apart from the tidy image he had kept for decades. The look sparked endless chatter, countless jokes, and more than a few Santa Claus comparisons. It even became the centerpiece of a playful Queer Eye moment, when grooming guru Jonathan Van Ness tried, and failed, to tame it on air. Suddenly, the beard wasn't just facial hair. It was a pop culture moment. And the changes didn't stop there. The tailored suits and shiny dress shoes have been swapped for track jackets, sneakers, and laid-back layers that match his slower, more personal pace of life. It's a wardrobe that says, "I'm done playing by network rules." For some longtime fans, the shift is bittersweet. They miss the old clean-cut Letterman. But for others, it's refreshing, a visible declaration of freedom and authenticity. Yet behind the beard and casual wear, the heart of Letterman's gift remains untouched. On his Netflix series My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, he leans fully into this new chapter, relaxed, unfiltered, and still delivering the sharp questions and quick humor that made him a legend. David Letterman's reinvention is more than a style change. It's proof that at any stage of life, you can break free of the image the world expects and create one that's entirely your own. Sometimes, a beard really can tell the whole story. Nikki Cox was once one of television's most unforgettable beauties, a fiery redhead with a dazzling smile and effortless charisma that lit up screens in the late 1990s and early 2000s. From the quirky charm of Unhappily Ever After to the glamorous world of Las Vegas, she became a fan favorite and a constant presence in entertainment magazines. But as the years passed, the spotlight began to fade, and with it came a dramatic transformation that would overshadow her acting career. The Nikki Cox the public once knew, with her soft, approachable beauty, seemed to vanish. Her lips appeared fuller, her facial features tighter, and the change was impossible to ignore. In 2013, paparazzi photos of Nikki hit the tabloids, and fans were stunned. Headlines screamed unrecognizable, others, more ruthless, called her botched. The public reaction was instant and fierce. Was it multiple cosmetic surgeries? Or a case of injectables gone too far? One plastic surgeon, who had never treated her, speculated it wasn't surgery at all, but overfilled or poorly placed injectables that had altered her look. His comments only fueled the debate, turning her transformation into a cautionary tale about the fine line between enhancement and excess. Through it all, Nikki remained silent. No interviews, no confirmations, no denials, just a complete retreat from the public conversation. And in that silence, the rumors grew, stories became more exaggerated, and her image was reshaped not by her own words, but by the relentless echo chamber of celebrity culture. To some, her transformation represents the heartbreaking loss of natural beauty. To others, it's simply personal choice, magnified under the cruel glare of paparazzi cameras and impossible Hollywood beauty standards. Today, Nikki Cox lives far from the limelight, rarely appearing in public and keeping her private life entirely her own. But for those who remember her at the height of her fame, her story is a haunting reminder of how quickly the industry that builds stars can turn on them, and how the quest to meet its ideals can forever change a face and a career. Thank you for watching Exposed Hollywood. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss our next deep dive into the untold stories of fame. See you in the next video.